just saw your face.
Right? You know exactly what part I was looking
All right, this is minute 34 of X Minutes. I'm Brian.
at. I'm Wolf.
And this is the podcast that takes the longest running superhero franchise without a reboot at the time of filming and breaks down one glorious minute at a time. Not sponsored by...
Ooh, Hum Blueberry Mint Kombucha. This is a very delicious beverage. I don't know if you like kombucha, but my girlfriend hates kombucha because she says it tastes a little too strong. But this is the perfect amount of strength and quench. 100% vegan as well. Hum Kombucha. Check it out.
When you want to be refreshed, you better humbucha ass to the grocery store.
Yes.
While social distancing and get yourself some humbucha?
Hum Kombucha. It says 2 billion probiotic cultures. So yeah.
Okay. 2 billion?
Yeah, it says 2 billion on there. That's a fuck ton.
I didn't even know there were 2 billion atoms in a 16-ounce drink.
Yeah.
But that's
and if you consider yourself multicultural, these 2 billion cultures will be right up your alley.
Or if you want to sneak some culture into the belly of your most racist relative.
Yes.
Give them hum kombucha.
Kombucha. And they will enjoy it, yes. Hum Kombucha gives me the strength to fight my demons. Hum Kombucha. And this is not a plug. This is not sponsored by any means.
7 out of 5 doctors agree. Hum kombucha is the kombucha to make you hum.
Yeah.
Sorry. Wolf showed me it and said he liked it after we stopped recording because he's like, I didn't want anyone to think it was a plug or we were being sponsored or anything. And I couldn't resist. That was not a sponsorship.
Oh. Yeah, this shit is delicious though.
Hum kombucha, if you want to sponsor it, get at us.
Yes.
Tag them in the comments on the minute. But besides, our most favorite sponsor, which is not true. That's not actually true. The views and opinions expressed in these minutes are not reflective of the Hum Kombucha Corporation or any of its affiliates. Sorry. What happens in this minute 34?
So in this minute, they start talking more about Logan's mutation, and him having these regenerative powers, or was that how you say it? Regenerative? I don't know.
Yeah, she says he has uncharted regenerative capability.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so having these powers, she explains that it's almost impossible to determine his age. And she's like, he could possibly be even older than you, Professor. Yeah. And I got a feeling the professor was probably like, fuck you, I'm not that old.
I mean, to be fair, he looks older than the professor in X-Men First Class, so...
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Oh, yeah, and she says at around 18 seconds, she says, nor does he remember anything about his life before it happened. Before the experimentation happened. And this pisses off the professor. He sighs. He's like,
And I actually like that it was Cyclops that asked who did this to him,
Yeah.
Later on, he may not give a shit who did it to him, based on how much he doesn't like him. But
he might be rooting that person on later on, but yeah. Yeah, get him.
Who did this to him, and where can I contribute to their Patreon? Patreon.com/movies-are-dope. What?
What I was talking about before, at 28 seconds, we see a close-up of Logan's skull. I always thought this was really cool back in the day, too. Because, you can see, layers of, adamantium, sheets fused together. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, and I like that part of what made Professor X sigh was him saying that experimentation on mutants. It's not unheard of, though he'd never seen this.
Mm-hmm. Nothing like that before. That's pretty interesting.
Which, considering that line, how are you going to put Professor X in X-Men Origins Wolverine looking like this? He literally comes to save some kids. Anyway,
he was walking around and shit. That confused me a little bit, but yeah.
I was surprised he said, I'm not entirely sure that this is the mutant Magneto wants.
Oh, yeah.
I was surprised we got that hint so early on in the movie, considering the twist later on. But maybe it's better that it's so early so we can forget this hint.
It's interesting that he says that now. He says, he's not sure that Logan is the one that Magneto wants, because up until this point, I mean, at least back then, I thought that's who he wanted most of all, was Logan. Yeah. Only for his metal skeleton. I mean,
And it's smart to cut right there. Distract us with something else. Don't continue the conversation. Give us that little hint so it doesn't come as a complete surprise later. But it's early enough we will forget it while watching the movie. And
it's like it's an inkling.
Yeah.
It's just like a seed. Yeah.
And it helps show that Professor X is not some fool. He's always considering other things.
He's nobody's fool.
Yeah. And then we cut to Magneto, or the Magneto's hideout, after mentioning Magneto, and then give us something completely different to distract us and try to make us forget that line as quickly as possible.
Now, when the senator wakes up at around 40 seconds, I can feel his pain because he was just on a United States helicopter, and then he wakes up like bolted to a metal chair surrounded by these terrifying mutants. He's looking around like, where in the heck am I?
Yeah.
And then at around...
Mystique kind of looked like Nebula when when the focus isn't on her, when she's out of focus.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. That's interesting. Let's see. At around 51 is when Toad, he sees a pigeon on a tree, and then he eats it like with his tongue, like a giant toad would. And that's pretty disgusting. And birds carry many diseases.
Yeah, I laughed, but did you laugh when the senator just goes, yeah?
Yeah.
Like that's a...
I laughed at that part, and then I laughed even more at the lame... Well, I think this line is a little lame, but when Magneto says, Toad has a wicked tongue.
Yeah. Cut out. We saw the subtitles, but I cut out right at the end. Yeah, I don't know. If I'm in a hostage situation, I'm gonna be like, oh, I turn away, but I'm not gonna be like, for the audience members in the back, yuck, yuck.
Like I almost expected him to say, "Are you gonna cook that first, or?" But yeah, I really enjoy how they on the island. They're like focusing on each individual person, kind of, so we don't see like exactly where they are or the apparatus that he's like attached to just yet, so I think it kind of puts us in the same position as the senator. We're confused, we don't know where we are, it's very dark, possibly cold.
Definitely. And his breath is coming
out. No. And a dude just ate a fucking pigeon. So.
Yeah, and during all that, we get a little bit of geography as well. Getting where the people are and setting up where Magneto's about to walk in past Sabretooth.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
At the beginning of next minute, I'm going to say who my ideal new Wolverine casting would be. I keep forgetting. I don't want to bury it in an episode, but just remind me for next episode. And that's a tease for anyone watching or listening. But yeah, thinking again about the guy who plays Toad and Darth Maul, I wonder.
You know what? Let's write him a letter. Let's see how he's doing. Let's write him a letter and just be like, dude, what's been up? Like, I think he's had let's see.
The Darth Maul actor? The guy who plays Toad?
Let's just write him. But I think he's been in a bunch of other combat films.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I mean, if the guy who plays Sabretooth is still in movies.
Wasn't he a pro wrestler or no?
I have
the
no
Sabretooth?
idea.
Oh.
No idea. Wouldn't be surprised. Although it would definitely piss me off if I were him, if over the next 20 years I keep seeing other pro wrestlers like Dwayne Johnson and John Cena and Dave Bautista having much bigger careers.
Right.
Like, God damn it, my face wasn't revealed.
Right.
Now I'm on a really bad kids movie where I only say one line. And I look like, what if Hugo Weaving put on a bald cap and gave up?
Oh, dude.
Sorry.
And just gave up.
I literally until after the movie when I was making an Instagram post, and I've said this before, I literally thought it was Hugo Weaving.
Wait, you said you thought it was Hugo Weaving in which?
Playing with Fire.
Oh.
I thought I was like, why the hell is Hugo Weaving
having
a bald cap, not saying anything, and just being the guy who grunts and goes, ugh, when he hates
I couldn't see Hugo
Hollywood blockbusters.
Yeah. He didn't even return for Red Skull.
In Infinity War and Endgame, yeah. It had that
was Ross
guy
Marquand
who did those beautiful micro impressions.
Ross Marquand. I first saw him in The Walking Dead. He's fantastic.
I only saw the first season and a half of Walking Dead, and I don't remember almost anything about it.
Yeah, it's a slow burn, but yeah.
But he is that, unless I'm wrong, he is that guy who did all the like Michael Caine ordering.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, he does so many impressions, and they're just spot on too. Yeah. I'm like, God, like Ross Marquand and Jay Farrow are the two like top 2 impressionists right now. In my book.
Who's that second guy?
Jay Farrow. He was on SNL. He black dude. He did a lot of Obama impressions. He does Chris Rock, Chris Tucker, Eddie Murphy. He does a good Trump too, which is pretty cool. But that's neither here nor there.
Gotcha.
But let's see.
Gotta shout out my boy Tom Hiddleston for his impressions.
Oh heck yeah! Oh yeah, Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston's impression of Chris Evans has me dying.
In the movie or just outside of that?
Oh, just outside of the movie.
I don't know if I've spoken about this or possibly shared it with you, but one of my favorite, I have 2 favorites, but one of my favorites that he ever did was impersonating Chris Evans talking to Chris Hemsworth, where he's like, "Oh man, like I work out."
He's like Thor's got
look
that.
Like Captain America, but like you are Thor. Like what is that muscle that you have?
Like he's got that muscle right here.
I don't know, mate. Just work out. But I've probably said it on here or somewhere already, but my favorite impersonation he ever did was someone asked him to do an impersonation of Samuel Jackson doing an impersonation of Loki in the Avengers, and he goes, "Oh well, I don't think Sam would like that very much, but let me see. I am Loki, and I am burdened with motherfucking purpose." Glorious motherfucking purpose.
Oh god! Because we all know that's exactly how Samuel Jackson would do an impression of Loki.
I'm also debating buying Heat, because when I first saw Heat when I was younger, I thought it was so boring.
Yeah.
Except for that one scene, and now it's $4.99 on iTunes. And I'm tempted to buy it and watch it, though it's 2 hours and 45 minutes.
I think I got it on VHS, which means nothing nowadays.
But he did the impersonation of that whole scene in front of Robert De Niro playing both parts on the Graham Norton show, and it's glorious. And I just want to... I'm going to put a poll on the Facebook group we're a part of is Heat fantastic? Does Heat have one great scene, but everything else is boring? Or is Heat boring? And I want to see people's responses. If a lot of people say completely fantastic, I'll buy it and rewatch it.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, but this has been completely on topic, sponsored by Hum Kombucha, the kombucha that helps you eat birds. Oh, we lost that sponsorship.
We lost it immediately.
We could have had something good. I'll hold out for Bang Energy. They're sponsoring new rock stars right now.
Right.
But did you have anything else for this minute?
I have nothing else for this minute.
All right. If you want to watch the minutes with us, go over to Instagram, instagram.com/nextminutes. If you're listening to this on audio, please leave a rating or a review on Apple Podcasts. And if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe and check out the other podcasts about Bond, MCU, and my own individual breakdown of Kingsman 2. Thank you so much. This is minute 34.
I'm Wolf.
I'm Brian.
And we are the best at what we do.
But what we do is not very fast. It's really quite slow. I'm very out of weight. Overweight? Out of weight. What the fuck did I just say?